Imagine two neighbors. One earns $250,000 a year, the other earns $70,000. If you had to guess which one becomes a millionaire first, the answer seems obvious. Except it isn't. Because 10 years later, the lower earner is richer, not slightly richer, a lot richer. And the reason why exposes one of the biggest lies people believe about money. Most people think income creates wealth. It sounds reasonable. The more money you make, the richer you become. Simple, except reality doesn't work that way. Because income and wealth are not the same thing. In fact, they often move in completely different directions. Income is what you earn. Wealth is what you keep. Income is a flow. Wealth is a stockpile. Income is temporary. Wealth is durable, and confusing the two has trapped millions of people in a cycle they don't even realize they're in. Imagine a man named David. David earns $250,000 a year. He drives a luxury SUV, lives in a beautiful home, wears expensive watches, takes vacations people post about on Instagram. From the outside, David looks rich. Most people would trade places with him immediately. And honestly, David believes he's rich too. Then something happens. His company starts cutting costs, projects disappear, budgets shrink, people begin whispering in hallways. A few months later, David loses his job. Suddenly the illusion breaks. The car payment remains, the mortgage remains, the insurance remains, the lifestyle remains, everything remains. Except the paycheck. And within months, the person everyone thought was wealthy begins to panic. Because what looked like wealth was actually income wearing a disguise. The problem wasn't that David earned too little. The problem was that he built a lifestyle instead of building wealth. And those are very different things. A lifestyle consumes money. Wealth produces options. A lifestyle gets bigger as income grows. Wealth gets stronger. Most people never notice the difference because income is visible. Wealth isn't. Nobody sees your investment account. Nobody sees your net worth. Nobody sees the assets quietly growing in the background. What they see is the car, the house, the clothes, the vacations, the visible signals. And that's where the trap begins. Because humans are wired to compare. Your neighbor upgrades his car. You start thinking about yours. Your coworker moves into a larger house. Suddenly your house feels smaller. A friend posts pictures from Italy. Now your vacation doesn't seem exciting anymore. The target keeps moving, and the more income you earn, the faster it moves. This has a name: lifestyle inflation. And it's one of the most effective wealth destruction machines ever created. Because every raise feels like progress. But sometimes, it's just a bigger cage. You move into a larger house. Now you need a larger mortgage. You buy a luxury car. Now you need luxury maintenance. You upgrade your lifestyle. Now you need a higher income just to maintain it. And without realizing it, your freedom begins shrinking while your expenses grow. This is why some of the highest earners in the world still feel financially trapped. Not because they don't make enough. Because they've committed every dollar before it arrives. Now let's go back to the second neighbor. The one earning $70,000. His life isn't exciting. Nobody envies his car. Nobody compliments his apartment. Nobody asks how he does it. Because from the outside, it doesn't look like he's winning. But every month something important happens. A portion of his income disappears. Into investments, into assets, into ownership. The amount isn't impressive. At first. Year 1, nothing changes. Year 2, still nothing. Year 3, the difference remains invisible. And that's exactly why most people quit. Because wealth grows in silence. There are no fireworks, no applause, no compliments. Nobody notices a portfolio growing. Nobody notices dividends being reinvested. Nobody notices compound interest doing its work. The process feels slow, painfully slow, until suddenly it isn't. Because compounding has a strange personality. For years, it appears broken. Then one day, it looks unstoppable. An investment account that seemed insignificant starts producing meaningful growth. Assets begin generating income. Choices begin expanding. And eventually, something incredible happens. The lower earner stops depending entirely on his paycheck. That's the moment wealth begins. Not when you buy something, when you own something. Ownership changes everything. A person with a high income and no assets has to keep working. A person with assets has options, and options are what wealth really buys. Most people think wealth buys luxury. It doesn't. Luxury is the advertisement. Freedom is the product.